Of course not. So it'd be all for naught at that point,
Yeah.
because you don't have the dedicated manpower, you don't have the dedicated technology. Um, the merchants themselves, and not a knock to merchants at all out there. Um, it's not easy stuff. It's and while it sure, can we say it is not rocket science? Yeah, but once you start really delving into the deeper layers of what it takes to manage and operate an e-commerce business, you start hitting these layers. Just the question marks just all over the place. What is this? How does it work? I don't get it. Oh no, what do I do now? It's
Well,
some
and
fire.
everything's great until it's not working right, or
Right,
until you
right,
realize that
right,
your competitors are just leapfrogging you, or
right.
everything's good until it's not. And I think that that's
I didn't
important.
know our
Is that
site was down all weekend. That's crazy, Robert.
well,
How did that happen? And then honestly, but I've been in those conversations. I've been in those rooms where, or I've been helping a customer, and it was something simple. We're trying to, we can ingest feeds from other platforms. We can ingest an XML or a CSV or a URL, for example. If non-integrated platform partners like BigCommerce, Shopify, Magento, those merchants want to pass a feed through a system, gain access to our software, but they'll send me a link to their URL if they need some support, and I'm taking a look at it and I'm clicking on it. So your site doesn't exist. Like, wait, what? Wait, what? Um, but literally, and that does happen. So it winds up being a question of, like you said, what is my time best served doing? Is it best served managing my business and letting other people, other experts, other specialists, other companies handle a lot of that nuanced elements of those difficult parts of the business that I can't necessarily wrap my head around all the time. For sure, absolutely.
yeah.
Excuse me there.
Well said. and, and back to you.
Hey, and back to you, Robert. Here we go. Um, yeah, absolutely. So, do me a favor. Walk me through, like, what is when you work with a customer, or what JetRails works with. Walk through me, like, the typical customer journey, and what that's like, what they can expect from a company like JetRails, and obviously, and your and per our the first time we even got to speak, I mean, we resonated. We're New Yorkers. Um, brethren, kindred
Got my
soul.
cup of coffee.
Hey,
Got my yeah.
ooh, got some gabagool on the side, maybe.
Oh, don't make me hungry.
I'm always hungry. I can't help it. I don't know if it's the impact of what's going on, but I was saying it's like you're either going to get really fit or you're going to really fat from this. I'm going to tell you that much.
I don't know anybody that's getting really fit right now. I know people that are buying exercise equipment. I don't know anybody that's getting really fit.
And my wife's doing she
Yeah.
jumped in. She started doing some instructional exercise videos and everything like that, and she's trying to get me to join. And I'm like, kind of have to go back up and work. But you do you, honey. You're doing good. Sweat it up. But I'm glad at least that some of the gym equipment is getting used. So I'm certainly not doing it. I just don't have the time at this point.
Now, my
But yeah,
elliptical machine is the most expensive clothes hanger I've ever bought.
right. So it makes an awesome drying rack. I guess no, not for nothing. It's great for the kids. They love jumping on that thing and pretending
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's the
yeah.
safest thing in the house. It's like,
Why not? You know what? They're self sufficient. I'm not too worried.
that's right. Darwin, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so in any way, get back to that. Like, again, walk me through like what the typical customer journey is like. Especially with dealing with a lot of the things that you're overcoming for them.
Absolutely. So it starts off with basically discovery. Instead of just having people come to the JetRails website and pick a hosting account, we get some information from them. We get to understand a little bit about their traffic patterns and their website itself. And we architect an environment for them. So we come to them with a proposal that is catered to their business. That might be on bare metal servers that we highly optimize and fully manage. That might be on a public cloud like DigitalOcean or AWS. Depending on their particular needs, we'll go from there, and we can give them options, but we'll get them onboarded. Most of the time, folks with us, they're month to month. And that also means that when they have predictable traffic increases, we get to spin up what we call booster servers for them. So they don't need to have, a huge deployment when they just have a really big Black Friday or a really big, sale day here or there. That's predictable. And so we can just spin up the hardware that they need when they need it. Other folks, we're auto scaling, and so we have them set up so that they can, they have unpredictable traffic spikes. They don't know when that traffic's
Hmm.
coming.
Hmm.
Maybe they're going to be on Ellen, and they don't know when.
Shark Tank, who knows?
Yeah, Shark Tank. Exactly. I mean, that's the reality of the business that we're in. So uh, we handle whatever their needs are. We give them a dedicated account manager. We have regular check-ins so that we can be tracking things with them, like their loading speeds, like different updates that need to be deployed and scheduled. Just general concerns going on out there, upcoming marketing, upcoming website changes that
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
should be aware of. Keep in mind that because we operate an operations center and we're monitoring sites, if someone puts their site into maintenance mode, basically to push out updates, to temporarily switch off the site, to us, all the alarms go off like the site went down. So we really want to know in advance what's going
Meh,
on.
meh, meh.
That pretty much, and that's why that's one of the key differences between a more highly managed, more more responsive service like JetRails versus maybe a more traditional just go get this hosting account somewhere. I will say that our accounts are what we call single tenant. They're dedicated to the users in our network, so they are not shared between different customers. That's what we bring to the public. And as a result, we do typically work with mid-market and enterprise, but it's really about being the right fit for the user. So we figure out what their needs are, and if we can provide a strong offering that can be in the lower hundreds of dollars a month. It's not that we're only working with Fortune 500s or something crazy
Right.
like that. Although we love those big folks that come our way, but what it comes down to is that we tailor the environment to the website and the developers and others involved. It's not just one cookie cutter environment that everyone gets that's the same. So we have lots of partners on the tech side. We get to deploy the technology that those users are looking for, the right content delivery networks, the right WAFs, the right caching layers, the right, everyone's got off server backups. Everyone's got access to our support team. And back to the human element, back to the secret sauce, we pick up the phone in 10 seconds round the clock with no automated system. And about
Whew.
90% of the time, the person that answers the phone is going to be the one that's going to resolve your issue or your request. We tried to cut out a lot of that tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where it takes hours and days and weeks to
Yep.
get to
Yep.
anybody, and to staff in a way where we could deal with things quickly. The same applies to our ticket system. About 15 minutes for a response time. About 90% of the time, the person that first grabs that ticket to work on it is going to be the one that addresses your concern. So outside of the fact that we're monitoring and proactive and in touch and involved, we're also on the reactive side really, really good. And we're not counting on, let's say, the firewalls to do everything, or or other things to stop every kind of attack that could ever happen. Keeping in mind that sites are always in flux, things are always changing. There's always a new discovery out there,
Yep.
something new. So we have these other layers that I've been mentioning, like malware scanning and intrusion detection, that are intended to tip us off if something unusual is going on, if there are changes that weren't approved or weren't made. But even then, we're locking down systems, and so people shouldn't be able to access the hosting account or the admin to the e-commerce website to log in and make configuration changes if they don't work for that company. We can lock it down by IP address, and basically you have to be on an
Yeah.
approved whitelist to get in. There are just certain best practices that we follow. We're not the only ones. Again, these are things that a lot of folks should be doing wherever they're hosted. But we try to make these things standard to our onboarding and to our general practices. That it's important, just like speed is important, and everyone should be optimized for speed.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the big picture. It's not, Yeah, there are these every small little gear that goes into play here has to create an incredible experience for the shopper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're specifically talking about e-commerce, but it could apply to any business really, but specifically to e-commerce businesses, um, it's all
Yeah.
about user experience. It's all about shopper experience. It's about
Yeah.
hitting the site. The page load times better be fast enough. People are
Hmm.
going to leave almost instantly if you're waiting for that page to load. Um,
Absolutely.
I
I,
certainly would imagine that during these times, the scariest thing you could get was, sorry, there was a data breach, uh, which seems to be the theme of. It was like the theme of 2019 was data
mhm.
breaches. The theme of 2020 is obviously coronavirus,
Yeah.
which my wife and I were talking about. She was like, "Isn't this crazy?" And I said, "This is going to be in the history books. This is going to be, this is
Oh,
we're even hoping this
for
might
sure.
reshape the education system entirely." Because to think about it, what's going to happen? What is really going to happen to kids having to go back to school? I mean, proms are canceled, everything like these experiences that these like ingrained experiences that we have. You know what I mean? Obviously, being our age and having gone through all of this already, but now looking back and saying,
Our age, I take offense to that, sir. I,
what are you? What are you? 25, 26?
oh, see, now we're friends again.
Give or
All right,
take, I would
you're
say.
back on my holiday list.
I
This is
got
good.
I don't know what I got. I got you by like 4 or 5 years at least. I don't know, maybe.
We'll find out after the taping.
Exactly. Nobody gets to know. I'm just gonna cover all my gray hairs so nobody can see them.
I have the light shining, so you can't see mine.
You
But
look
mine aren't gray; they're
beautiful.
silver. They're very
Yeah. Right.
distinguished.
Well, you look great. Your office looks great. I'm super jealous. I mean, you got everything. I mean, I look like a bum, in my bum kitchen, home office. But you want to know what? I still love it. At least I got a skylight. I got two, but at least I got some natural light in this place. I mean, it's a disaster outside. It's a monsoon over here on Long Island. I got staff reaching out saying, I'm sorry, there's just no power in
Don't
my
trust the
entire
guys that are all
house."
buttoned up and perfect. Okay, those Wall Street types with the
Right,
three-piece
with
suits
the
in there.
with the
I
collared shirts
prefer
and the
what you've got
extremely
going on
well
here.
trimmed beard
Yeah.
and the very very the perfectly aligned glasses and oh wait, that's you. Um,
No, it was like when you walk into a really nice casino. I'd go to
yes,
all these trade shows in Vegas and other schmancy places, and you walk in and you take a look, and you're like, "Oh, this is where all that gambling money goes." Like it didn't
right,
come from
right,
nowhere.
right,
So
right.
no, I think your background, I think everything is perfectly well suited to say
Thank
that you guys
you.
are reinvesting, and everybody is pretty healthy and
Hey, you
and
know
good.
what? I guess things could be a lot worse for us. I'm sure it could be a lot worse for so many people out there. Obviously, we have staff members whose significant others, family members are frontline fighters, they're first responders, they're nurses, they're doctors, they're hospital administrators. So I mean, I've been hearing hospital administrators rolling up their sleeves, getting in there and helping patients. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the world we live in right now, but we're all adapting and we're all making it through, one way or another. We will all get through this. As I keep saying, everybody, you got to stay healthy, stay safe, remain informed. But the
And
best,
yeah,
go
we
ahead.
got to support each other. We're going to get through it
Yes,
together. That's the most
arm in
important
arm.
part because there's going to be people that need that help, and that's all that we can, ask of ourselves is how do we step up to the plate? Okay, and look for what it's worth. Some of it. Sometimes you just got to put a little polish. I mean, you see the sunlight. I'm really in an alley. When I take this backdrop down, okay, and we get this green screen down, and you really see what's happening here. Okay, sometimes you just got to keep your sense of humor. That's all.
Right. I don't have to pull down the green screen because this is just this is the same disaster when the camera goes off as it is right now. I mean, like that. You see, you even got this makeshift cover. So the fan for this kitchen in here is on the wall there. But it also was a lovely attractor for carpenter bees. So we used to rent out the upstairs here, and then I'd always hear like, "Ah!" And then the woman who was living up here would come rushing down, like banging on our door, like, "Help, help, help!" And I come upstairs, and there was like 10 bees and massive carpenter bees. Obviously, they're a form of bumblebees, so they're not going to hurt you or anything like that. but she was freaking out. I'd come up and I'd literally walk over and I'd like catch the bees barehanded. And I'd like, go outside, my friends, go live. And she's just like, ah.
When those things make a home, they make a home.
Oh man, I love watching them because when you watch them actually bore into wood, it's crazy. It looks like a drill. This little black drill is like, and you see the sawdust popping out and flying out the other end. It's I think it's adorable. But I'm a weirdo.
Building themselves into the old deck in Brooklyn. Yeah. Been ages since I saw one of those, but they're fun.
Yeah, my wife was like, "Why is there sawdust everywhere on our deck?" And I was like, "Bees." Like, what do you mean bees? And I was like, "You've never seen a borer bee or a carpenter bee?" Yeah, and they're like this big, dude. They're massive.
But Anthony, we came here to talk about me. All right,
what do you want to talk about? Tell me. What's your favorite color?
Teal. You can see it back there. Yeah.
Oh man,
okay.
Robert,
I like to try to show up in here and in the morning and make believe I'm just staring at an ocean in the Caribbean or something. Right, it's not going to happen, but it's as close as I can get.
I get I plant my face up against my fish tank, and I have full on conversations with my fish just to pretend like I have friends.
It is a very healthy thing to do. I can tell you that it's as close as you're going to get to real friend. Oh, I mean,
no. You're right.
I actually find that that watching fish, the water, we've got beautiful birds back here in Florida and other wildlife and iguana infestations, whatever it is. Watching the wildlife, as long as it's like it stays on other people's property. Usually, it's very serene. Right. It's very good for the brain to decompress.
Keep the pythons out of my backyard.
Man, there's enough invasive species in these days. But speaking of which, you definitely want to keep those predatory hackers. That we got to keep that security up. Keep those.
Keep your DDoS. Get these DDoS attackers out of here. Oh my God!
Look, okay. So, diverse wildlife. Diverse websites, right?
Yes, of course.
Different. Yeah, no,
Robert, you definitely touched on everything I could possibly imagine. I
just started scratching the surface. I thought we were booked for another couple of hours. I didn't talk to you about our migrations and user acceptance testing.
Oh wow! Oh well, no.
Isn't that what you were waiting for?
You have like 6 or 7 episodes, man. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
I don't need sleep. Okay, I can talk web hosting and e-commerce and conversion optimization, and I can just like. The Energizer Bunny over here for this stuff. I mean, ask me to, work on the honeydew list. I don't know, but
how much coffee have you had today?
This is decaf. This is all that I've had is 1 cup of decaf. This is why I'm only allowed decaf.
Sure.
You wouldn't want to see me on real caffeine.
Actually, you know what? Now that you mention it, I'm kind of afraid now. I might be a little bit afraid to see you on actual caffeine.
If you actually got me on like a shot of double espresso bouncing off these walls. If you had if you'd done an IKEA run and needed someone to put all that together, very useful. Other than that, usually doesn't go too well. Like a few minutes are okay, and then things just start to go south.
So I'm partially dyslexic, and I literally everything I put together backwards first. And then my wife stepped by, like we got a new grill a while back, and I put it together, and I'm looking, and I said, well, that can't be right? And my wife looks, and she's like, you put it on backwards, you dummy.
That's like my rule with my wife that she learned not long after we got together, that I won't call for someone to come and fix something until I've made it at least 30% worse. There's a mathematical formula. Right. I have to at least try to assert, some ability there and learn something and grow as a person. Man. And sometimes it works. Sometimes
husband must fix things.
Look, the Flintstones had it easy. They just hit stuff with a club and it started working. I always thought that it would be easy.
But you want to know what? That works like 80% of the time. When it works, it works.
I like that. When it works, it works.
But to that, I think. But that's beneficial. It's like the more people that spend time doing that. Spend time like figuring out how to fix things in the house. Like, hey, I'm very handy. I'm not really a contractor. I can't do some of the little stuff, but I was able to fix a leak and patch a hole in my ceiling. If there's a plumbing problem in the house, I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. I'm a master landscaper now.
Oh, you're so much better than me.
Will I ever shut the container of wipes for the kids? No. Never. And that will I close the gate? Will I make sure the gate's closed downstairs? No. So my 14-month-old climbs up the stairs by himself, and the other day we hear him rattling up here, and why didn't you close the gate?
Because you wanted him to work on his muscles and get some good exercise so he'd have a good nap. And
I still needed to fix the tub, so.
Don't worry, my 12-week-old, I'm going to walk out of this room and start, honey, I just did this great thing. And shh, the baby's sleeping. It's
shut up. No, I understand. Like my youngest son's room is 5 feet away from me, right here, right there. He's right there. So half the time when I'm up here working, I get text messages, and I think I was doing it in the other show, and I'm just like, my wife's just like, shh, shh. I was like, I'm sorry.
No, my wife is doing extremely well for someone as sleep deprived as she is. I mean, it's mostly about my snoring. The baby's great, but
no, I can't. I'm not allowed to sleep in the bed half the time because of my snoring. So I totally feel you on that one.
I actually, I not one of my bigger problems, but it's I definitely make colicky babies, and it's my gift to her. I think I've done right. That's it. I've destroyed this one. I think we're going to have to end on that high note.
Yeah, that's it. That's
what everyone needed to know today. That's exactly what's going to help them to survive.
Makes colicky babies. Oh my God, Robert, man, you've I feel
so. When are we going to start recording?
Who knows?
This was a fun dry run, right?
This is fantastic. I everybody out there, since you can't see this because we didn't record any of it, thank you so much for joining us. No, but seriously, Robert, oh my God, I haven't laughed this much in, I don't know, the last several videos I've gotten to do with my staff. I mean, you really kept me on the knife's edge, so to speak. Really cracked me up. I keep telling everybody, was like, laughter was really my biggest release during all this, all the stress, everything that's going on. If I could just laugh a little bit every day, it made everything that much better. It made all the difference, Well,
to me, this was a great stand-up set. If one of my jokes landed, I did something right, because you know that, okay, you got to work that material until you got somewhere. So,
and next time, the two-man show.
Yeah, okay, but in the meantime, tip your waitress, and
yes, try the veal.
Yeah.
I'm here till Thursday.
That's right.
Oh my God. Anyway, look, man, I've had an absolutely great time. This has been so much fun. You have shared such incredible insight into what you guys do, into things that e-commerce business owners should be focusing on right now. Always, everybody out there, you've been watching these videos. If you're joining in, if you have any questions, if you ever want to know anything about me or Robert, just keep watching, because he and I are going to share our entire life story together throughout this entire series. But in all seriousness, everybody out there, stay healthy, stay safe, remain informed. Robert, thank you again for joining me here today. I'm sure we're going to be doing this again. I know I'm jumping on your podcast soon as well. You have any last words of advice or parting words for everybody?
I think we've laid down a lot of wisdom. Just stay safe, stay healthy, and and keep on trucking. Just have happy days doing your best and bringing your A game, and we've all got a bright future ahead. So we'll just take it one day at a time, and in some cases rely on the kindness of others. A lot of us are out here to help if we can, even if that's just with a consult or sharing ideas.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. Robert Rand, Director of Partnerships and Alliances at JetRails. I'm going to be doing your company's intro video.
You are. Actually, I think you're going to intro our podcast from now on.
Yes. Oh my God. All right, Rob. Thanks again so much joining me. Have the wonderful rest of your day. Everybody else have the rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Again, check out the description below. I'm gonna have a link over to Robert's website and some information about how you can get in contact with them for some more information. All right. Sayonara.